Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at this week's Sunday preview. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. Sunday preview, Leviathan approaches. So I'm not going to lie, it may be difficult for me to contain my excitement throughout the video, so please give me a pass on this one, because I am super pumped for Leviathan. It's almost time. You've read every faction focus, gawped at all the miniatures, and discovered how the match play, crusade, and combat patrol game modes work. The colossal cosmic claw of the biggest Tyranid hive fleet ever is closing around the galactic west. And Warhammer 40,000 Leviathan is coming to pre-order next week. So I did go ahead and skip over their actual video. We're going to take a look at the full article and make sure we touch on all the important details. So if you have any curiosity about Leviathan, release date, queue system, benefits of buying directly from Games Workshop versus at a local store, we will go through all those details in this video. So obviously the new Leviathan box is the super exciting event that we've all been looking for. It is absolutely packed with miniatures, and this is the launch box for the new edition. It corresponds to what we saw almost exactly 3 years ago with the Indomitus box, and was literally Games Workshop's biggest sale event ever. So we do expect this Leviathan box to be extremely popular, and a ridiculous amount of volume behind it. So let's take a look at the details. This is the launch box for the new edition of Warhammer 40,000, the biggest Warhammer release in history. The pre-order window will be open for 2 weeks, and the set will be available strictly while stocks last. But don't worry, we have made a mind-boggling quantity. Okay, so just from that statement, we know for sure it's going to go live for pre-orders next Saturday, and we know the pre-order period will be 2 weeks before the item is actually released, which means that on the 24th is when the actual launch of Leviathan, when it will be available. And they did address one of my biggest questions here. We saw with Indomitus, they made a strict quantity, and then immediately afterwards it sold out, and they did made to order. So it took a few months to get anything that you made to order, but it did give people an opportunity to get it if they missed out. Now here, Games Workshop is saying they're not going to do that specifically, but they have made a mind-boggling quantity. So rather than messing around with having to pick up the slack on the made-to-order situation like they did last time, they're just going to pump out all the product now. So if we assume that they're correct and they have made plenty, it should not be an issue for anyone to get a copy of Leviathan. Unfortunately, Games Workshop does not have the best reputation. Matter of fact, they have the worst reputation for new releases and people being able to get a hold of them. I do suspect, though, this is going to be closer to a situation like we saw with Dominion than it will be closer to the situation we saw with Indomitus. I really do think Games Workshop has been essentially cutting production on everything else in their lines just to make tons and tons of this box. But we shall see. Ahead of what we expect to be a quite busy pre-order period, we are installing a queuing system with a limited quantity available per customer. You'll be able to pre-order at the following times in your area. So that is important. They are going to be bringing back the queue system. So essentially it's just a digital line that you wait in, and then it allows you into the store, gives you about like 10 or 15 minutes to make your purchases, and then it does boot you out whether or not you're finished. Which is great. In the past, the queue system has been in place for some other big releases, and we saw, somewhere in between like a 20-minute to a 1-hour wait, and then once you got in, like I said, you had about those 10 or 15 minutes. But it did mean that whoever was waiting, whoever was in the queue, was going to get pushed in order. Certain people weren't going to be able to use certain things to gain an advantage, which was definitely nice. So let's check out these times. All right, so we have New Zealand, Saturday the 10th of June at 10 a.m. So that is next Saturday. And then we see Australia, Saturday the 10th of June at 10 a.m. Japan, Saturday the 10th of June at 11 a.m. And then we see Europe, Saturday the 10th of June at 11 a.m. UK, Saturday the 10th of June at 10 a.m. And then USA, Saturday the 10th of June at 10 a.m. And those are all in the respective local times: NZST, AWST, JST, CEST, and BST. And then for the United States, PDT. And they do make a specific note: available while stocks last, limited quantity per order. All right, and now we are on to the contents. So this is actually the first full picture we have seen of everything inside of the box set. In the past, we've seen all of the models, but now we do see the book in here. We see the cards as well, and then we do see the transfer sheets. And then it's presumed also there will be an instruction sheet as well. I'm assuming that we're probably not just supposed to wing it with this many models, but you never know with Games Workshop. So, but jokes aside, this thing is absolutely packed. It's very difficult at the moment to figure out exactly how much value is in here. You guys know I typically do a comparison based on MSRP, and the majority of the models in this set are not actually available, especially like the Tyranids. We can kind of get like some parallels, but just as a comparison, Indomitus was like $200 right around that level when it came out, and it was close to like $500 in models with the rulebook and everything inside. So in the past, these big box sets, the launch box sets, are essentially some of, if not the best value that Games Workshop ever offers, which obviously explains their popularity. So if you were interested in starting a Space Marine army or a Tyranid army, this is absolutely the best box to do it with. And you can either split with a friend, or you could potentially each buy one and then just trade the halves you don't need. This is definitely just a beautiful way to get going in Warhammer 40,000. They both have really nice composition. We've seen a lot of the unit rules, and they appear to be very fun and very strong. And not to mention, this box set specifically has all of the models plus extras to form the new Space Marine Combat Patrol and the new Tyranid Combat Patrol. So if you're interested in Combat Patrol game type specifically, this has 2 full Combat Patrols and then a bunch of extra models that wouldn't be part of the Combat Patrol. So very, very cool and awesome for new players or people that are specifically interested in starting Combat Patrol. This humongous box contains 72 new miniatures split between the Space Marines and the Tyranids. The Emperor's Angels of Death are represented by the Indomitable Captain in Terminator armor, a Librarian in Terminator armor, a Primaris Lieutenant in Phobos armor, an Apothecary Biologist, 5 Immense Terminators, 5 Stern Guard, a Sharpshooting Ballistic Dreadnought, and 10 Pyreblaster Toting Infernus Marines. So here we see all of the Space Marines in the set. And then again, if you remove a few specific models from this, this is your Combat Patrol for the Space Marines as well. So very, very cool. Really nice. 100% all new sculpts. And this is the first time we have ever seen the Stern Guard veterans and then also the Terminators upgraded to like the new kind of Primaris size scale. Really nice set. Definitely loving the characters. Loving everything inside of this thing. And then on to the Tyranids. They are holding the line against the worst that High Fleet Leviathan can throw against them, including a savage winged Tyranid Prime, a brain-melting Neurotyrant, and its 2 Neuroloid lackeys, 3 Von Ryan Sleepers, a Psychophage, a swarm of 20 Termagants, and 2 Ripper Swarms, 11 Neurogaunts, 5 Barbgaunts, and a brutal reimagining of the iconic Screamer Killer. So here we see all of the Tyranids in the set. And again, same thing. This will be the Combat Patrol with a bunch of extra models in it. I can't remember exactly what models are in the Combat Patrol, but this is that plus a bunch extras. And again, all new sculpts. Some of the models previously had iterations, but all of these actual sculpts are brand new and unique. And we see something like the Termagant kit has gotten a massive upgrade in the set. And then we see the Screamer Killer was originally available in metal. And then you had the ability to make him out of the regular plastic Carnifex kit. And now we have a dedicated Screamer Killer. I mean, this is a really, really nice set. These models are absolutely beautiful. If there's one thing I can say about Games Workshop, it's the level of miniatures, the detail, the quality of them just constantly goes up. And this is by far one of the best sets, if not the best set we've ever seen. So very, very nice. Just getting excited talking about it right now. I'm not going to lie. Besides all these fantastic miniatures, there's a massive special edition hardback Leviathan core book containing all of the contents of Warhammer 40,000 core book, which will be released very shortly after. This weighty grimoire includes the first narrative Crusade expansion, extensive background lore, and galleries of miniatures for every major faction. We're not done, because there's also a 66-card chapter-approved mission deck, which generates tense and exciting match play missions, and a Space Marine transfer sheet. So here we see all those things, and we do actually see the instruction sheet there in the background. That's the first time we've ever seen that. And we do know that they went ahead and released the new rules for 10th edition already free, so you won't even need to get this book if you don't want, but obviously everybody's going to be after that Leviathan set, because it's just too great not to. Now a quick message from today's sponsor. CMO Games has been selling Games Workshop products online for over 20 years. They carry the full line of Games Workshop products, including Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Necromunda, Blood Bowl, paint tools, and more. Almost all Games Workshop products are priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games takes pre-orders for most Games Workshop products released at their earliest date possible. 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, they go live. Most of these pre-order products are also priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games offer free shipping in the US 48 with an order of $50 or more. Their customer service is top-notch and they ship most orders within 24 hours. Visit CMOgames.com using the affiliate link in the description and let them know that you heard about CMO Games from Warhammer Man. Now, back to the video. On top of that, there are a variety of pre-order bonuses available. Depending on where you get your copy, if you order via the Games Workshop web store, you'll receive a set of 2 double-sided gaming boards with a total playable area of 30 by 44. So that is specifically if you order from the Games Workshop web store. Purchase your set from a Warhammer store and you'll get a set of 36 acrylic tokens, which includes 6 40mm round objective markers, 10 battle shock tokens, and 20 wound tokens in a stylish tin sporting the Leviathan logo. Okay, so that is unfortunately not very clear. They say if you purchase your set from a Warhammer store. To me, when I hear Warhammer store, I think of a Games Workshop store. I'm not sure why they specifically said a Warhammer store, but I'm assuming that means a Games Workshop. But I'm not 100% sure on that. And then it says order from an independent Warhammer stockist, and you'll receive either a set of 28 double-sided deployment zone markers or a Warhammer 40,000 branded neoprene dice tray, featuring artwork of a Terminator helmet lens reflecting a Tyranid face. Speak to your local game store to find out more. Okay, so that basically just doubles down on what I said. So it definitely is, this is what you get if you order directly from the Games Workshop web store. It does look like actual fold out board, and then it slides into this, and then it is double-sided. So these are the 2 sides. But it's not just a paper mat. This does look like an actual like cardstock fold out board. And then next we have the tokens. So these look pretty cool. I am definitely after these things. They're awesome. Unfortunately, I don't have a Games Workshop store anywhere around me, nor am I going to be ordering from them. So I'm probably going to have to hunt down a set of these on my own. But I actually really like these. I think they look great. And these will be what you'll get if you order from an actual Games Workshop store physically. And then these are the deployment zone markers. So when you're going to mark out your actual deployment zone, you'll be able to use these. And this is like the little sheet that they come on. So they're like the little pop-out pieces. And you'll either get that or potentially this dice tray. So it has like little snaps in the corners. So you can basically lay it down flat. And then when you're ready to use it, snap these together. And it does have that cool Terminator eye graphic on it. So that's pretty neat right there. Definitely some cool little bonus for them to offer up. I do wish it was a little bit different for people that don't have certain things available. But if you do get some of these bonuses, obviously, you could always swap them with somebody else if you wanted to. So pretty cool and some neat little things to go along depending with how you get your set. All right, and then next from Black Library, we have the Leviathan Special Edition book. So this is pretty cool. I'm definitely excited for this. I do wish that they would release this at a different time. They have such a massive hype event. It doesn't make sense to like pile all this stuff on with it. I wish they would just wait like a week or do this a week in advance. Either way, just to kind of take away a little bit of the like crazy traffic to their website. The new edition of Warhammer 40,000 shifts the narrative lens far away from the Arks of Omen and towards the Galactic West, where the true immensity of Hive Fleet Leviathan is revealed. The people of the fortress world Regium are plagued by nightmares of ravenous creatures that Lieutenant Castamos of the Ultramarines' First Company recognizes as the signs of an impending Tyranid invasion, though even he has no idea of the scale of the oncoming catastrophe. So here we see the cover, absolutely amazing, super cool textured cover, and it is signed by Darius Hinks. Leviathan by Darius Hinks is a tie-in novel for the new edition, presented in a lavish special edition limited 2,000 copies, signed and numbered by the author. Each book features a blue leather effect cover with half-face portraits of Space Marine Lieutenant and a Tyranid, a lilac ribbon bookmark, and lilac page edges. So right off the bat, I have to say 2,000 copies just seems like a complete mistake. I do not understand why, with the biggest launch of all time, they're going to make 2,000 copies of this book. Maybe I think more people read than actually do or collect these types of things, but 2,000 just seems like not nearly enough when we consistently see things with 2,000 to 2,500 copies selling out in seconds. So like it has been lately, I suspect this is going to be very difficult to get a hold of. Let's hope the queue system makes it possible for anybody that's after one. And then on top of that, they're going to have a regular copy of Leviathan as well, and then also Echoes of Eternity, the regular copy. Disaster has come to Terra, the walls have fallen, and the defenders' unity is broken. The inner palace lies in ruins. The War Master's horde advances towards victory in the 7th book in the Siege of Terra series. All that stands between the tide of traitors and the Sanctum Imperialis is Sanguinius, a ragtag band of loyal refugees and survivors. So here we see the Echoes of Eternity book will be available as well. And again, I don't love the timing on this, but I understand they're trying to make this just a huge event where just everything hits at once. So yeah, that is it. Super exciting. Obviously now we have all the dates and everything. We have basically everything confirmed at this point, except for the actual price. From what we have heard so far in the United States, the price is going to be $250. I do not have official confirmation yet. Obviously, I'll hit you guys with it as soon as I do. But it does seem very, very likely that this is going to be priced at $250. My guess initially was they were going to go with the $295. But I am hopeful that all the other reportings everybody has put out are correct, and it is actually only $250. That is still 100% speculation at this point in time. People have presented some evidence as to why it's only going to be $250. I'll believe it when we get the official prices from Games Workshop. And even then, we've seen them change those prices in the past. So let me know if you're excited to be picking up Leviathan. You're going to go after one of the special books or some of the other things. You're going to be going for a specific location to purchase your Leviathan set so you can get the appropriate tokens or markers, etc. Always like to hear back from you guys. Special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the video. I know they're going to have plenty of copies, so if you want to save 15% with free shipping, make sure to check them out. Link in the description. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and this is probably the most excited I've ever been for anything Warhammer related. And I hope you're feeling the same. I'm out of here.